Hello and welcome to the TallTimber tutorial series, video number 7. In this video, we will be working on step number 3, check input success, in which we will be generating a profile report. Before we do that, I'm going to outline the process as we've gone through it so far. I should have imported my data, which I made sure was in the correct format and had the named range data. And then I went into step number 2 to enter the input parameters. If I changed my species codes, I made sure to start with optional setting number 2. And if I had any changes I wanted to make to wood density and sort order, I could make that there as well. Then I changed my prism basal area factor. Any other optional settings down here, such as the merchantability cutoff and some of the volume equation changes, I could make at that point. Now, once I've made all of these settings down here, as long as they're consistent between data sets, keeping this box checked means that every time I import a new data set, I do not need to make changes to options 2 through 6. So once I've imported my data set, I only need to change my prism basal area factor or my plot size if I'm using a fixed radius plot. So now I can return to start, and we are ready for step number 3, checking input success. This generates the profile report, which gives me a list of the stands and some information that summarizes them. So in this case, I only have one stand, but if I had multiple, they would show up in rows here, and I would need to scroll down to see some of them. The summarized total acreage would be here as a summary of each of the stands, the total number of tree records here, the number of plots, and 0 tally points. The basal area factor is set for the entire inventory at one point, and this is just to refer to the changes we made in step 2. And then the maximum and minimum trees per point is just a reference. It's something that we can look at to identify the different stands in our data set. So one thing that is important to consider about this profile report is that it is a diagnostic step. So if I have a number of plots in this profile report that is different from what I expected to see from my data set, that raises a red flag and I should go back and take a look at my spreadsheet. The same goes for the 0 tally plots. These are very influential on the overall inventory, and so checking to make sure you have the correct number here, whether that's more than 1 or 0, as I have, this is a good point to do so. And finally, checking that the basal area factor is the correct one that I just set. So now that I've generated my profile report and I've checked this to make sure that all of my stands are as I expect them to be, we can click Return to Start, and moving on to step 4, Process and Get Results, to generate some reports. Thanks for watching.